Hi everyone.
Hey, once again, it's the app that fails you in every way, shape, or form. So
To tell you when you're actually live.
to tell you when you're actually live or not live. But any case, hey, I'm David,
And I'm Brenda.
and we're from OutsideOurBubble.com, and we're here to talk about OOBerfest. And as Brenda just pointed out to me, I spelled Uber wrong on the
On the title.
on the title. So
Oh well.
oh well, what are you gonna do? So be it.
People will know what it is, hopefully.
Yeah, and so basically this is a quick chat that we wanted to just give you a fill-in of what OOBerfest is, and for those of you who haven't been there before, for those of you who have been before, hey, and glad you guys are coming back.
Yay!
Yay! And, but more or less in a nutshell, OOBerfest is a gathering of people that follow us.
Let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
What is Uber?
Ah, yes. It's
For some people who may not know.
OOB, Outside Our Bubble. And what happened is the first time we had a gathering out in Quartzsite, we had a bunch of people, well, 47 rigs or something like that showed up. And the people that showed up, somebody happened to say, hey, we're your Oobies. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, we're your followers, your Oobies. OOB, Ooby. And we thought that was kind of cute. And then somebody said, yeah, and then somebody else said, yeah, this is OOBerfest. And we're like, okay, so that's where the name OOBerfest came from our followers.
And it works really well.
Yeah,
we like it.
We didn't name it that at all. So it's kind of cool. I mean, that it all worked out that way. But what it is basically is a gathering.
Yeah, we have a blog, as you may or may not know, OutsideOurBubble.com, and we just post different things on there, and David's videos are on there on top of YouTube. And so this is basically just a gathering out in the middle of the desert, no hookups or anything, of people who like to follow our blog and want to meet us.
Yeah, and obviously if you're coming to OOBerfest, you know about our blog because you had to sign up.
Yes.
If you don't know about OOBerfest and you just happen to get this ping that we're live right now, we're talking about this thing that we do once a year in Quartzsite, Arizona in January.
Yeah, and we do Quartzsite, Arizona in January because for those of you who may be new to RVing, every January in Quartzsite, first off, Quartzsite's a very tiny, tiny little town, not much there, but in January there's a big RV tent event, and it's free. But there's all sorts of vendors and shopping and things, so it's a fun time that a lot of RVers like to go to in January.
Yeah, and Quartzsite, this little town out in the middle of nowhere, becomes this very huge town of all RVers. We're talking thousands and thousands of RVs.
Yeah, because Quartzsite has an interesting distinction, land-wise, where it's surrounded by BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management. And that's land that you can go out and you can basically park for free, usually up to 14 days at a time.
And then you have to move somewhere else.
Yeah, and there's no hookups.
Yep.
You just run off your generator and your batteries, and that's it. It's fun.
Which brings us to a very important point. Those of you who are coming to OOBerfest for the first time, this is dry camping, period. Make sure you come in with full water tank and empty gray and black.
Yes.
Very important. Also come in with as much diesel fuel because you will be running your generator in order to do things in your coach and have power. And how that normally works, we'll go over that really quick, is generators are normally run when you need to do something in your coach. Obviously that it requires a lot of power, but normally people run their generators for 2.5 hours in the morning time, and then 2.5 hours at nighttime before they go to sleep.
Just to charge up the batteries.
Yeah, and that's really basically, for the most part, the amount of time that people run their generators, unless they're doing something else that requires that power. And that's obviously, we kind of try to respect a quiet hour after 10 o'clock or so, 10:30.
It's common courtesy.
Yeah, and that's about it. We don't enforce it. It's common courtesy.
Dry camping etiquette.
Yeah. So just remember, you're coming in, there are 0 hookups. So if you didn't think otherwise, if you signed up for this and you thought this was a whole RV site and everything, you couldn't be farther from incorrect.
No, but if you've never dry camped before, personally, I would want to do it with friends, and that way you can learn off each other. So this is a good way to learn how to dry camp and to learn different tips and tricks.
Yeah, last year we had somebody come to OOBerfest who had just literally picked up their motor coach from the dealer and came directly to OOBerfest. first motor coach they owned. That, to me, was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
As you all know, out there in the RV world, there's a shakedown period usually, and so you don't want to have your first excursion be a dry camping excursion. You want to make sure everything is working properly first.
And because we're in the desert, just because you hear the word desert, don't think Sahara.
But yeah, don't think you're going to sink in sand or anything like that.
You will not sink in sand. This is solid ground. The only soft parts are the washes, and you'll drive right over those without an issue. But
they're not that big.
Yeah, you'll have to go across a couple washes to get to where we are. They're very small, but that's the softest point, and you're not even going to get stuck in the softest point.
Yeah.
For the most part, it is solid rock out there. So do not worry about that. People do ask that question, and it has come up again this year, and so we just wanted to let you guys know that.
Even if it rains or something and the ground gets wet, it is solid, so no worries.
Yeah, so no worries about that. So we talked to you about making sure you come in with full water tanks and empty gray and black, and because you're coming in with no hookups, you want to be able to conserve your water. There are tips that we can talk about, and we'll talk about that when we do our welcoming at 5 o'clock on Thursday when you arrive. But in short, you want to use very little water as possible for washing dishes and things like that. Carry bottled water. It's you're going to want to use your other water, your on-coach water, for other things other than drinking. So carrying bottled water is a good idea for you and your pets. And then you can stay longer if you wanted to, because you don't have to move to go get fresh water.
Yeah, and speaking of water, usually people shower like every other day or whatever, but you take Navy showers.
Yeah, I'm coming to you unshowered just to show you what it looks like. This is how it is. You shower every other day or so. Up to you, obviously, and then you take very quick showers, and we usually do them back to back, not literally back to back in the shower, but one after another, because when you turn that when you turn that water on to get hot water, it takes a minute to go through, and you're wasting all that water. So you don't want to do that a second time. So right after I get out of the shower or she gets out of the shower, I go right in, and believe it or not, so we can stay longer, we're just we catch that cold water in a pot coming out, or in a bucket.
In a bucket, yeah.
Yeah, and then we use that like to brush our teeth or flush the toilet or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, you can use it for other things other than drinking or whatever. Just catch it in a bucket, and it serves other purposes, washing dishes and things like that. Now that seems to go a little extreme for 4 days if you're only staying 4 days, but for people staying longer, it's which we usually do.
Helpful.
It's helpful. Speaking of staying longer, we will be coming in on that Monday, the Monday before OOBerfest. And then we'll probably be staying until Tuesday or Wednesday the following week.
Yeah.
That's usually how we roll.
That's good, dear.
Thank you. And so that's just to give you guys a heads up. If you wanted to arrive early, you're more than welcome to do so. And if you do so, be aware you're going to be helping us save spaces. Speaking of spaces.
Yeah, that is my biggest stressor point. And I think for David too, but being BLM land, it's all free.
Yeah.
So it's first come, first serve. And that is our biggest stressor because we have a big, large group. And this is our 3rd year in a row doing this.
Yep.
So the word is getting out that this is our little area, our big area.
Yeah, but for people who don't know, they still come into the area, and then we politely let them know, hey, just so you're aware, there's all these coaches coming or all these RVs coming, and if this is a little peaceful area you thought it was going to be, it's not going to be.
It's not going to be in a few days.
Yeah. So what we do is when you arrive, if you arrive early, we try to spread out the RVs so we can cover a great area where we'll then park people. And this is important to understand also. You will be parked close to somebody else. I'm talking maybe awning width, that close. And the reason is because we have a large group. And if you don't feel comfortable parking directly next to somebody, which is what happens in most rally situations, then you're more than welcome to park outside the group and walk over for things. That we are in no way saying you have to be with the group to attend OOBerfest.
Yeah.
We're just letting you know if you want to be part of the circle, the inner circle.
The secret. It's not a secret, I guess.
But if you want to be part of the circle, you want to be part of the main group, which usually usually people do, and if you've seen the videos, you know what I mean, you will be parked close to somebody. So please don't complain if you've never been before that, wow, we're parked so close, because we have a few situations in the past where people didn't realize that, and
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So just heads up on that. We try to do as well as we can. We have some friends that'll be helping us who are very knowledgeable in doing this. Bob and Pat Beitler.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, Bob and Pat, hello. You guys will be meeting them. They're actually the first people we ever met when we were RVing. Well, I should say
when we started RVing.
When we started RVing, they're one of the first RVers we ever met when we stopped for service at Gulfstream Motor Coach. So hi, Bob and Pat.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, so they're responsible for all of this. Any case, so fresh water, bottled water, conserved water, and most important, bring firewood.
Yes, that's really, we don't charge to come here, but that is really the price of admission,
That is the cost
just
of
to bring
admission.
firewood.
Bring firewood. And we ask that because we try to have fires every night, and then on our big party night, the night we have the band, which will be Sunday night this year, we use all the wood as possible, and we create these really big bonfires.
Yeah, last year we had, 5 bonfires, and they were probably about 5 feet tall each, and
Yeah.
that was nice.
It was fun. It's a good time, and hopefully the weather will hold out for us. It did last year for the most part. For the most part, weather held out. I mean, our party was awesome.
Yeah.
We had the most awesome, I mean, the weather was perfect. So hopefully that'll all take place. So speaking of events, the arrival day is Thursday, so we'll do the welcome hello thing at 5 o'clock, and just say hello to everybody, and you guys get to meet us if you haven't met us before. For those of you who have, don't bother coming. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Any case, we'll do the 5 o'clock meet and greet, and then the next day is when we have things going on. Things like seminars where we give talks. And one of the seminars we have is the importance of weighing your coach. And in that, we actually have somebody who comes, Steve and his wife, who actually do coach weighing. Now, there is a fee involved in that, but it's well worth it to get your coach weighed. You will be able to sign up for that at OOBerfest when Steve and his wife arrive.
Yeah.
You'll be able to sign up for that, and so you'll do it on site there. So don't worry about that. And
this is their fee for
Yeah.
for them coming out and doing this.
yeah, we make nothing from this. We just think it's something that's very important to RVers, and so we're great to have them. We feel great that they agreed again to come back
Yeah.
and do this, because we do believe it's very important to have your coach
And
weighed.
they do the four tires or 6 tire weighing. They do each side to side, front to back, and everything.
Yeah.
So you know if you're lopsided this way or not.
Yeah, so it's all good to know. So in any case, that'll be going on there too, and our other seminar events, and then Saturday is when the show opens, so everybody usually goes to the show. Saturday night we'll have our big potluck dinner, which is usually a very big success.
Yeah, and speaking of potluck dinner, a lot of people travel with big folding tables or whatever, so we will utilize all the tables that we can, and we usually put them all out, and then everybody,
Brings out their food
brings
and
out
stuff.
their food, but we will have,
Well, if you have tables.
if you have tables, we will be partaking in borrowing them.
So you'll see what will happen is people will start bringing out tables at
Yeah.
a certain time. So just add yours to the mix, and that's basically what happens. And we do
Yeah.
thank everybody for pitching in on that, just like you do the firewood. Well, as we said, we don't charge for any of this. This year was the first time, because people suggested it to us to take donations. Because last year we did a lot, like the band we hired from Phoenix and stuff like that, and we did the same thing this year. And so people suggested that we take donations, and we thought long and hard about doing that, and we decided that we would do it with one caveat, and that is that we make no money from it. So what happens is, for any donations that come in, and some of you have donated very nice amounts, so thank you.
Thank you for that.
It's very nice. And what will happen is that will cover any expenses that we have, like the band. So you're helping to support that, or anything else that we had to pay for, which is not a lot, actually. The band is our biggest expense. And we don't have to do that.
Well, I do have to get all those donuts.
Oh yeah, donuts too. Yeah, that's true. But the important part is, just so you're aware, anyone who did donate, any money above and beyond the expenses that we lay out, and you just have to trust us on this. If you don't trust us by now, you shouldn't be watching our channel, I guess. But in any case,
I think it's really just the band.
Yeah, and well, mostly it's the band, but other things, but signs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In any case, what I'm getting at is any money left over goes to the Segs for Vets Foundation. Segs for Vets Foundation is our charity of choice. We've been working with them for a very long time and have raised over $100,000 on the road for them through our various businesses and what have you. And what they are is they're an organization that helps our wounded warriors that are coming back that are amputees gain mobility again through the use of a Segway. And it's quite an amazing thing. And if we do our movie night, I'll be showing a video on Segs for Vets. And basically, that's where any extra money goes. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. You do not have to donate. It's not a requirement or anything like that. Firewood is your only requirement, and understanding you'll be parked next to somebody. By the way, speaking of being parked next to somebody, important safety note, if you have a Genturi, please bring it. Please make sure you have it with us, because if you're running your generator, it's always good to put up a Genturi to get the fumes up and away from your fellow RVer who's parked next to you on the generator exhaust side. If you don't know what a Genturi is, you might want to look it up, because they are required if you go to NASCAR events or anything like that.
Or a lot of rallies.
Or a lot of rallies require them also. But any case.
Just real quick, Bounder with Chris says, where's the location?
That's a good question. Quartzsite, Arizona. If you go to outsideourbubble.com, outsideourbubble.com, up in the top right-hand corner, you'll find a link for OOBerfest. And OOBerfest link, click on that, and in there is a link for Google Maps, which will show you the GPS coordinates of where we will be in the desert. It has to be GPS coordinates because there's no street address.
It's dry camping. There's no address.
It's on what we call North Plumosa Road. And we're actually the furthest out away that we can get from Quartzsite and still be on BML land. And we do this because you'll notice when you get to Quartzsite, it's a crazy place.
Yeah, and I think to drive into Quartzsite is we're probably about 7 or 8 miles out, something like that. But it's, I mean, it's like 60-mile-an-hour roads or something, so it doesn't take long.
At first, I thought he said sex for vets.
Well, that's always a good thing, too.
Yeah, that's always a good. Help your vets through sex. That is actually very funny, and actually, that's not the first time we've heard that.
Yeah.
So, but it's always funny when people think, what did he just say? It's segs, as in Segway, for vets, to help with mobility. Not cha-cha-cha mobility. Any case,
is there BLM restriction on importing wood from our home area?
We have never seen it. There's very few things that go on out there that people...
That's regulated.
That's regulated. There really are.
Yeah, people bring in...
Good question, though.
Yeah, people bring in wood. One person last year had a pickup truck, and the entire back of his pickup truck was just
wood.
Full of wood.
Man, do we have big bonfires.
They do sell wood in town, but... then again, it's a small town, and so you're probably going to pay for it. So there is a small grocery store in town, actually a couple. So if you do need to pick up some things, there's a couple small grocery stores, but you're just going to find the basics. You're not going to find anything fancy.
But there are also diesel stops. There's Flying J/Pilot that's up there, and there's another big rig diesel place down the road on the opposite side of town.
Yeah, I think that's just a regular commercial one that's not a...
Right, that's not a Flying J, that's commercial too.
Yeah.
But any case, there is diesel in town and everything, so if you wanted to top off or anything when you're coming in, if you're coming in early, it's a good idea to top off, because by the time you start to leave our event, it's quite busy there. Quartzsite has grown quite a bit by that time. So if you're coming in early, try to stop for diesel before you get to us, and then you'll be happier you did that, so you don't have to deal with it when you leave.
Yeah.
So that's more or less in a nutshell what OOBerfest is and what it's all about, and we just try to have a good time. And it all started out with people we basically said, hey, we're going to be in Quartzsite. If anybody wants to come meet us, feel free. And they did.
And we had 47 RVs show up.
We expected some people to show up, but we never expected that many people to show up. So thank you.
Yeah.
We felt really honored. I mean, it really is cool to be meeting people that we've helped influence in a good way.
Well, and last year we had 100 RVs sign up, but then, things happen and people need to cancel or whatever. We had, 70 something?
Yeah, 74 showed up, but that was only mostly due to weather. So most of the people who emailed us saying they're not going to make it was weather related, and it was pretty sketchy going into the first, few days. We did have to cancel an event, but in any case.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm hopeful that the weather is good because that was the first time we've ever had poor weather in Quartzsite.
Yeah, it was just rainy and windy, but it really cleared up for for our band, so that was nice.
Yeah, so that's it basically. That's what OOBerfest is, and it's a gathering in Quartzsite, Arizona that we just try to have fun. It's a meet and greet. Bring your alcohol I shouldn't say, I shouldn't impose drinking, but we do have a good time. It's like happy hour every night. Our actual happy hour thing will be Sunday night right before the band. By the way, we're crossing our fingers that it happens, but Mr. Bob Tiffin is saying that he's going to try to show up on Sunday night.
Yeah, for our happy hour.
Yeah, he's going to try to arrange that. They stay out of town in Plamosa, but
no,
not Plamosa. Excuse me.
That's the road that we're off of.
Yeah, what's the town that's close by? Bluff. No, where is it? Can't remember. Anyways,
Blythe.
He stays in Blythe in a hotel or whatever, and then they drive in for their events. And so, hopefully, he said he's going to try to make it. He's let his people know to put it on his schedule, and hopefully, he will show up on Sunday night at OOBerfest.
Yeah,
that'll be nice if he does. So we got anything else out there with any questions?
What kind of music does the band generally play?
Well, you can actually listen to them on our YouTube channel. We actually have an hour and a half of the concert edited up on our channel. The band is called Notes from Neptune. Notes from Neptune, and they play a variety of music, a wide variety of music.
They're out of the Phoenix area.
Nobody went home disappointed. We had over 200 people at that party last year.
Oh yeah, it was crazy, and lots of dancing and lots of bonfires.
And we fully admit, Brenda and I had too much to drink. That will not happen this year.
No, but we were not the only ones.
No,
either.
We were not the only ones.
Everybody was having a good time.
Yes.
But Notes from Neptune, yeah, there's a video up on YouTube. They play everything.
Yeah, they play all types of genre, and I don't think anybody went home disappointed in the music.
The interesting thing about them, though, is they'll play a familiar song, like they'll play "Purple Rain" from Prince or something, but they'll tweak it to their own little rendition.
Yep.
So it's not just the same old. Well, it's really interesting.
And what you also you'll notice is Thomas Love, perfect musician name, and get this, he's a sax player. Thomas Love. What a name for a sax player. And he's brilliant, and he also sings. So you have to imagine that all these different modern day songs like Prince and stuff like that, they have to somehow incorporate a saxophone in. So it's quite amazing the compositions they come up, and we're so happy to have found them, and that they're going to be back with us again.
And David will be getting his cajon out and playing with the band for a little bit. Maybe not all night, so he can enjoy some of the evening, but he plays cajon around the country, and so he will be playing with them a little bit.
Yeah, the cajon is a box drum, and some of you have seen our videos or have seen me play live. So hopefully we'll make that happen and have a good time. I enjoy playing so much. If not, I'll be doing the light control to do the light show.
Yeah, because I'm not good at that.
Yeah, she's not good at that. No.
I'm not a techie, and for some reason that falls under that category.
Yeah. So that's more or less about OOBerfest. Do we have anything else in here?
Are most of the rigs coming big diesel pushers, or do you ever get smaller gas rigs coming?
Oh,
we get everything.
We get teardrop trailers, believe it or not. Somebody last year came in a teardrop trailer.
There was a van conversion.
A conversion van. Yep.
There was fifth wheels.
We do not discriminate.
Gassers, motorhomes. Yeah. Well, everybody's invited.
Everybody's welcome, because we're all, in our opinion, fellow RVers. We may own a 45-foot motor coach. You may not. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
We all have the same. Well, I shouldn't say we all have the same issues when it comes to motor coaching or problems, because they're different owning a coach like this versus a teardrop. But we're all out doing the same thing. We want to explore, have a good time, and enjoy traveling. And that's what it's all about. And
it's all our passion, so
We have fun and we talk about it and we help out where we can. We help people who don't fully understand things and might need some background, and that's where most of our videos come from, obviously, is trying to help others talk about different new RV products, things like that. And but that's what OOBerfest is. It's a live version of that.
Yeah, and Bounder with Chris, there were quite a few Bounders that came. I'm assuming you have a Bounder. Quite a few Bounders that came. So, you know, you get together with these people, and if you're having a problem with your rig, or you might have a little tip or trick to tell somebody, then that's a great way to meet friends.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people meet new friends there and keep in touch over the years.
So that's it about OOBerfest. We said we were going to go for about a half hour talking about OOBerfest and what it was, and that is what that is. And we don't see that we have any further questions, and so I'm guessing that we've answered your questions.
No, but we do have Marcelo from Argentina.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Marcelo, I guess you're not going to be making it this year. But in any case, what we're going to do is we'll end this we'll end this conversation here, and then what I'm going to do is I'll start another live chat, a different video session, so we can just take general questions for another half hour if anybody has any general questions that are not OOBerfest related.
But one real quick one, kind of OOBerfest related. Rich and Sue want to know if we're going to be live streaming our travel to that area so they can see what the area looks like.
We've decided that we're going to live stream whenever we travel. And what that means...
Yay!
What that means, though, however, you have to understand that we're only as good as the Verizon or AT&T signal is. So there is no guarantee that when we are traveling in our motor coach that the live stream will continue or be solid.
Yeah.
So even though we will live stream going to OOBerfest, there is a good chance it won't continue the whole way because we are out. There is a cell tower out there, but one cell tower.
Yeah, somebody just asked how the cell signal is at the site.
The cell signal is, it all depends on last year it sucked. The cell signal itself was fine. The data signal was terrible, and that's because we are such a distance away from the tower, and the cell towers, I don't want to get into technical stuff. It wasn't that great.
The biggest problem is oversaturation.
Yes, and that was what I was going to get to.
Yeah,
it
there's
gets oversaturated.
too many people.
They only have one giant tower out there, and there's way too many people. And we've complained to Verizon, telling them during this time of year they need to bring a portable cell tower out and to increase it, and they just don't do it.
Like they do that at rallies. I don't
know.
understand why they don't do it, you know, in January out there.
Yeah, don't they know how many people come out to OOBerfest? So yeah, sorry to say, since the distance where we're staying, the cell signal is not that wonderful. Nobody really complained that much about it. I mean, we use a lot of data and we get through it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's usable sporadically.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
And always, if you need to, you can drive in towards town, and the closer you get to town, the better your signal will be in strength-wise, because cell phone towers actually do discriminate based on signal strength. So if you're closer to a cell phone tower, you're likely to get better data speeds than you're further away. And that's not just because of physics. Well, it is your distance away, but that's because they actually do prioritize traffic that is closer with a higher signal than further away, because it's less that they have to try to resend to get that data packet across. Any case, that's a whole technical thing. I didn't want to get into
my
that.
eyes just started glassing over because when he starts talking tech, I lose it.
Which means it's time to end the program, and we will go on to another program where we can continue our conversation if anybody would like to join us for another half hour. So, I'm David.
And I'm Brenda.
And we're from OutsideOurBubble.com, and that's our chat on OOBerfest, coming up soon in January in Quartzsite, Arizona.
Hope to see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we have to figure out how to end this.
You have to push the button.
Gotta push the button? Okay. I'll do
See
that.
the button? The big red button?
Let's see if that works. And